So Mike, now I want to show you the new dashboard feature we're coming out with.
Sounds good.
If we go up here and click dashboard, what we've done now is we brought a lot more power to the screen to save you going into other windows. So this is looking at the health report on the system, right? So the nice thing is I can still drag and drop. You can come in here and just move widgets across if you don't like where they're located. Just set it up completely for you. You can come in here and see the number of vehicles that have photos missing, prices, description, and so on. Right now you can see your overall health is 85%. And as you touch any of the graphs, like we want to look from, instead of 30 days, we want to look at 60 days. It's interactive. You'll see the graph actually move and show you what's happening in that time frame. One of the other things, Mike, is you can have various dashboards. You can set them all up yourself. So if we go into the appraisal dashboard, and now we'll see the appraisal widgets. And this is really cool because it's completely interactive. Here's all your different appraisers. Right now you're looking at a graph of all of the appraisers, but if you want to go to a single appraiser like Mike Smith here, boom, the graph changed. You can see what Mike Smith's doing. What is won, what is retailed, what is wholesaled. The summary, if we go into the summary, now you go into what we're doing with the new reporting. So remember when you look at reports, all you see is data, 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 right? And you try and figure out, well, is this guy appraising better than this guy? And you just got to keep looking at it. Now it's graphical. You can see it in an instant. So this is the master view of various stores. So if you're a UVD, if we go and just change to this store, now you're going to see individual appraisers for this particular store. Here's your appraisers. What do you think to that?
That's a whole lot better than what we've been dealing with. It's a whole lot better. I mean, you can break it down to exactly what each appraiser is doing, and we need to do that a lot more than we do. I mean, we haven't really paid as much attention to that as we should.
Well, because it's graphical, that'll give you a lot more advantage to do that. And then if you want to see the ones that were missed, you just click in the red. It already tells you that he's lost 47. And now it'll just transfer the graph, and you'll just see that particular vehicle. And once you've selected the individual piece, you come down into the data section, and what you clicked on is highlighted, both horizontally and vertically.
That really breaks it down. That's a lot of detail right there.
But just so you know, when you click on that area, what you click on reflects down here in the overview. So it says what you're looking at right now is all, because it didn't take that click. But if I clicked on Mike Smith, it would show me the 40. My cross would be right there.
That we didn't get.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then below that, like if I came in here, let's try it on this 23. I could still come in and just click on the 23. It'll shuttle these down and just show me those 23. We've got all of the actual vehicles, and you can still click in and see the actual detail. So this will take you to that vehicle values page of the appraisal. And if you want to know anything that was going on, what were the notes, what was the pricing, you've got it all right there, just clicking right through from the dashboard.
Well, what's good about it, if I'm understanding it correctly, I mean, you're going back to cars that you missed the first time, which means all of that is follow-up information. I mean, those are deals you can go back into. You can call the customer, and for one thing, you can look at it and make sure that we didn't miss the appraisal for some reason by not putting enough in the car, or if there's something in the recon that maybe wasn't as bad as we thought it was, and we can call the customer and resurrect the car deal. That's a lot of it right there. To have that kind of detail, this is the only thing I've ever seen that has that kind of detail on trades missed, because with the information we're getting from this, it gives us a whole way to go back in and get business that we lost, business we didn't get the first time, let's say that. Does that make sense? I mean, you're going back in and you're going to look at a trade and say, well, we may have missed this trade by a small amount of money, and may look at the recon and go, the recon wasn't really as bad as we thought it was going to be on this thing. Let's call the customer back and try to put some more money in it, and let's get the car deal. To me, it all comes down to having all the information. I mean, right there. We don't have to go to 2 or 3 websites to figure it out. We've got everything right here in one spot, real concise, very exact, compiled with all the best information in the industry, and it gives us what we need to just make ourselves better. That's money that we wouldn't have before. If we can go in and sell a few of those cars, that's going to make us money we didn't have.
The last thing I want to show you, Mike, is one that I think you'll really like, the inventory book difference report, right? This is #1 used report in the system, but we've taken it to the next level. One of the problems before when you use inventory book difference is that it tells you the vehicles you've got water in that you can switch that customer to, but then you still have to go and figure out the payment. Did it fit the payment? Now we built that right in for you. So just like you were used to before, over this side, you can go in and change from cost to retail or price. If the bank could go to 105%, you can change your percentage. Notice my graph below changes. So here's showing the cars that actually fit that 105%. Water-wise, these are the ones that don't. They're above it. But even better than that, now we can come over and say, you know what, the customer can only go to a 365 payment. They've got a down of 2,000. They've got a trade-in of 1,500. We can get them on a 60-month loan at 8%. Now I've got 14 vehicles that they can go into. Is that cool or what?
That is crazy. That is the first time I've ever seen anything like that all in one spot. That's awesome. Again, it's going to make us a lot faster and a lot more efficient, you know.
And then when we click
that's
on
really
the
good.
blue, it highlights those vehicles for you. That one can save hours and hours of playing around,
Try
right?
to find the car that fits, you know. That's what everybody's trying to do all the time, and that basically puts it in one easy step. You just put in the information needed and click, and it tells you which cars are right. I like it. Well, here's what I see in this. I mean, first of all, this is an area that most dealerships kind of put on the back burner because they know it's a hassle to make everything fit, okay? Now we've got a tool that is actually going to make it take the same amount of time to find a car that's going to fit this customer as it would, you know, a customer that may not have any restrictions of any kind, you know?
Right.
Because usually when you're dealing with this, you're trying to find a car that fits because there's negative equity involved or you've got a credit issue, something like that. And this just brings it all together really fast. So you won't shy away from this. You're going to want to get involved in it. It's all right there.
And you can also, if they're upside down in their trade, you can put a minus in for the trade
That's perfect.
and just highlight the cars that's going to fit them.
That changes things right there. That's going to be something that's really awesome.